Newport News in Review with Aaron Pritchett starts right now.
Hello, I'm Aaron Pritchett, and welcome to this edition of Newport News in Review for the month of May 2012. Well, be as it may, there's always so much to say, and plenty of opportunity to get out and enjoy each and every day, whether it's during this final stretch of spring or under the impending sizzling rays of summer. And no matter what Mother Nature, or for that matter, life may throw your way, being prepared and putting safety first is the key. And no one knows that better than the men and women in blue, who commit their lives to serving and protecting this community at all hours of the day and night, 365 days of the year. So this month we bring the show to you from the very impressive Newport News Police Department Headquarters building located at Woodfin Road and Jefferson Avenue in the Midtown section of Newport News. It's a building that stands tall, one that makes a statement with just one glance, a statement that suggests that with great power comes great responsibility. And when that responsibility involves serving and protecting the people, this is where it all begins, as the Newport News Police Department Headquarters building is a place that has quickly established itself as the spark that ignites and inspires this community to actively work together with the more than 400 police officers within the department to vigilantly keep the peace and fight crime, a mission that continues to evolve and grow stronger than ever, much like the long-standing history of the department itself, thanks to its undying commitment to public safety and a desire to better serve the citizens that began to take root here in this city more than a century ago. Newport News was once a quiet hamlet of 30 people located in Warwick County, Virginia. But when the C&O Railroad Company and Maritime Development came to town, so did the need for someone to keep the peace and enforce the law. So in 1882, Warwick County Judge R. Booker appointed E.L. Woodward as the first policeman of Newport News. The first police station and lockup consisted of a one-room building on 23rd Street, but in 1889 it burned to the ground, set afire by a prisoner whose charred bones were found in the smoldering ashes. By 1891, the police station set up shop and shared space in the Warwick County Courthouse, located at 25th Street and Lafayette Avenue. But it wasn't until 1896 that 3.68 square miles in what is now downtown was incorporated as the City of Newport News, and Shelton J. Harwood was selected as Chief of Police. The city's first police officers were issued badges and nothing else. They had to supply their own blackjacks and guns. At the turn of the century, the Newport News Police Department had grown, and instead of relying on a horse-drawn carriage as their primary means of transportation, they became one of the nation's first police departments to include a bicycle and a motorcycle. In 1945, the Newport News Police Department moved into the Courthouse and Public Safety Building, located at 229 25th Street, once again sharing space as the force continued to grow. And grow and grow. On July 1st, 1958, the City of Newport News and the City of Warwick consolidated, becoming the third largest city in the state of Virginia, thus causing a merger of both law enforcement agencies, creating a police department with a force consisting of 104 policemen, 17 police women, 8 secretaries, a dog warden, and a harbor master. By 1976, the Newport News Police Department was on the move once again, as they shared space with the city jail at 224 26th Street, and during this time made history, as George C. Austin became the first black police chief of a major Virginia city. In the 1990s, the Newport News Police Department had grown so much they moved into 2600 Washington Avenue, a high-rise office building leasing a variety of floors and sharing space with everything from waterworks to law offices. But reality soon began to set in. But the future of this busting-at-the-seams department would require a permanent place to call its own. So in the early 2000s, the City of Newport News and the Economic Development Authority set into motion plans to secure a centralized location for a standalone 21st century police department. And in October of 2004, ground was broken at 9710 Jefferson Avenue, the former site of King's Flea Market. And over the next 2 years, a 3-story, 58,000 square foot main police headquarters building began to take shape, with ample space for a wide variety of divisions within the department, a community room, and plenty of room for future growth. Not to mention a 9,500 square foot auxiliary building that would house property and evidence and forensics. And in the fall of 2006, this impressive state-of-the-art police headquarters building was finally complete and ready to start a new chapter for this city, but always remaining well-rooted in a foundation that was laid many years before, that has produced a fully accredited, nationally recognized police department with some of the most highly trained police officers in the country that remain committed in serving and protecting the people, and especially the citizens of Newport News. We are proud to feature the very impressive Newport News Police Department headquarters building, and more importantly, the men and women in blue who bravely put their lives on the line each and every day throughout the year to ensure a safe and peaceful community for one and all. Well, May has been another busy month, so let's take a look at what's been going on right here in the city of Newport News. It's an opportunity to pay close attention to detail, add to an ever-growing collection, and unlock that inner child that lies within all of us as history comes alive in miniature scale with the return of one very popular toy show. And it's a place that has trained and produced the finest shipbuilders in the world for almost a century. And the time has finally come for it to make a quantum leap into the future as one of the most exciting downtown projects in decades begins and helps to continue a rich tradition that has been intricately interwoven into the fabric of Newport News. It's a rich tradition that has been handed down from generation to generation, one that has required a constant commitment to detail, learning, and adapting to incredible advances in technology, ultimately helping to produce the most skilled and talented workforces in America that take great pride in building the most complex and technologically advanced ships for the world's greatest fleet. And now the Apprentice School, which has been a part of Newport News shipbuilding for almost a century, is about to take a much-needed quantum leap into the future.
I think we stand on the shoulders of those shipbuilders that have gone before us. It's nice to come into a 92-year history and tradition. This building is not the first of the apprentice schools, it's actually the fourth. And knowing that apprentices in the past have been educated in stables and in old shops, and now in this building that was built in 1943, and preparing for the future, gives you a chance to see how we progress as shipbuilders. The other nice thing about this building is it's very closely connected to the waterfront. We like to say we've got 550 acres of shipbuilding laboratory right outside these walls, and it's good to have that connection. It's kind of sad in one way that the building is inside the gate because the public doesn't get to see a real representation of what we do. But we have been training young men and women in a field that's very important to our nation's security, building those aircraft carriers and their submarines. And it's quite a sense of accomplishment. You realize that you're doing something very important, regardless of whether you're fitting steel or whether you're outfitting or testing. And it doesn't matter what part you play in this big orchestra that makes these ships. What's important is that we do a good job day in and day out for our customer.
Well, there's a lot of history here. Part of an apprentice's experience is far more than shipbuilding on the waterfront. Apprentices also take courses in trade theory where they learn more about the trade that they work at the shipyard. And they also take academic courses, which are the courses that they take within the walls of this building.
-1 equals -x, or x is equal to 1.
The students take courses in mathematics, they take courses in communications, computers, physics, so there's definitely a strong academic component. There is a direct correlation between what our students do in the classroom and what they're doing on the waterfront. The idea is that they take the material covered in class, they learn that, and then they can apply it very quickly, immediately almost, when they return to the waterfront the next day. One marker of our students is the fact that many of them are contextual learners. They learn very well by doing, which I think is part of the reason that they're attracted to the apprenticeship program in the first place. And one of the things I value about that is that it makes for such a dynamic classroom.
It's really exciting because there's not just one area that you can go to. There's so many different options that you can branch off into, whether you want to go engineering or management or planning or stay with your tools. And I thought, what more pride could you have in a job than building something that people's lives depend on and really represent your country? And so it was definitely a big jump for me to come 3 hours away, but it was definitely a career move that I thought would put me in places to get me ahead in life. So, and it has already done that.
The new facility is another in a series of steps that is evidence of and reinforces our commitment to the community. We have a huge presence in downtown Newport News, employing over 19,000 folks, and Apprentice alumni and students, they are a huge portion of that workforce. So this is another way to interact with our community, and it's a fantastic opportunity, not only for apprentices, but for other shipbuilders and the community as a whole.
It is a game changer for downtown. Our mode in recent years has been to stabilize downtown and to tear down some of the older properties, but we have not had a lot of activity. People come and go to City Hall, into the court system, into the shipyard, and to have this gorgeous new technology building and educational icon that will really be a tremendous statement for Newport News shipbuilding and the new Huntington Ingalls industry. I think that it's going to be a tremendous source of pride for our citizens. I know that the apprentice school students and the faculty are very excited, and it really is going to be a fertile project that's going to pay the dividends for all the investment that we've made over the years to prepare downtown for its regeneration. As we work with the shipyard on this project 4 or 5 years ago conceptually, selecting the site presented several challenges and opportunities. The shipyard could go a very inexpensive route by taking some of their existing parking and putting a building in it. The other alternative we looked at was the superblock that is publicly owned by our housing authority, and we also talked about the long-term potential of what it can do for redeveloping downtown and where would you go for future development. And then this site from 31st Street between Washington Avenue and West Avenue to 34th Street along the Washington Avenue. It doesn't go all the way back to 34th Street, which really was originally the preferred site of the shipyard from the beginning, was something that was very close to their gates, that was within a very short walking distance. It included some older buildings and some public surface parking lots. Some of the property is owned by the shipyard, so the shipyard contributed what used to be the old Bank of Virginia building, and then there was some privately owned property and some smaller portion of publicly owned property that we could assemble a 2.5 block area to accomplish the project. Yeah, demolition has started. It's really exciting to see some of the older buildings come down. For most of us, there are a few folks that worked in those buildings as banks and in other locations, and so there's a little bit of sentimental attachment and sadness that goes with seeing an era of the past. But what you're going to see coming out of the ground is going to be a new modern icon that is going to really be a statement for the shipyard and for the quality of Newport News, and pride in our work ethic and our educational facilities. And it will be very similar to downtown Norfolk, where Tidewater Community College came in and really made a difference in the activity level and all that's there. So, it'll be a construction site for a while. The buildings should be down in the next 45 days, down to the ground, and then the utilities in, and you'll start to see the phoenix rise from the ashes again by the fall.
It's a great honor to welcome you today to the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Newport News Apprentice School.
The Apprentice School project represents a $70 million collaborative effort between the city, the Industrial Development Authority of the City of Newport News, Amada Hoffler Development Company, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and Huntington Ingalls Incorporated. This entire project is expected to generate direct tax revenue conservatively estimated at $400,000. It will create new job opportunities and serve as a catalyst to spur investment and redevelopment opportunities within our historic downtown.
What you're about to do here in these next 2 years is really going to be tremendous. It's going to be a venue for education to train these young folks to do amazing work that you can't do anywhere else. As much as we're putting an emphasis on higher education in Virginia with our goal of creating 100,000 new degrees over the next 15 years, as much as the legislature's invested this year in higher education, there's no program at a Virginia college and no textbook you can go to that says how to build an aircraft carrier. You just don't do that. But you can do it here at the Apprentice School and teach people how to do that and build submarines and do the amazing work that's been done here for over a century.
It is so much more than bricks and mortar. It's an opportunity for our employees to learn the art and the science of shipbuilding and heavy manufacturing, and to develop future generations of business leaders. It's not just classrooms. It's another step in the revitalization of downtown Newport News and in the strengthening of American manufacturing and the Made in America brand. And it's not just on-the-job training. It's an investment in the security of our country and in the safety of the men and women who sail our ships into harm's way. It's truly the preservation of freedom and happiness. And through its focus on craftsmanship, scholarship, and leadership, the Apprentice School delivers knowledge. And that knowledge results in the very best military ships in the world. It has for nearly 100 years, and thanks to investments like this one, it will for many, many more. Congratulations to Newport News Shipbuilding, the City of Newport News, Armada Hoffler, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and everyone involved in this project for their foresight, commitment, and dedication to ensuring Newport News is where you'll continue to find the hard stuff done right. Thank you very much.
At first glance, some would think it's all about the state-of-the-art, standalone 58,000 square foot police headquarters building, or the impressive line of police cruisers, boats, motorcycles, and other specialized equipment you may see at any given time throughout this city. And although extremely important to the overall mission of the Newport News Police Department, it is truly the men and women in blue who are the heart and soul of everything that they do, because it is their commitment to put their lives on the line each and every day, 365 days of the year, to ensure our safety and do all they can to fight crime. And in an effort to honor and remember police officers here in this city and throughout the country, the Newport News Police Department recently held a police memorial ceremony during National Police Week, which began with a unified march down Washington Avenue in downtown Newport News.
Thank you so much for being a part of our ceremony with us today. You know, today is a very special day for us. I've experienced many of these in my career, but I still get that little feeling in my stomach. And it makes me think about those dark days where I had to make notifications when someone had given it all. You know, many of you just can't feel the importance of the day like we do. Law enforcement is a very dangerous work. And every day, all of those in front of you there in uniform, and many that are not in uniform today, work and train very hard to keep their names from being called on a day like today. We know it can happen any minute or any day, and we try the best we can to prepare ourselves for it. That's why today is so important to us. Today is to honor those in law enforcement, officers, sheriff deputies, federal officers, state troopers, anybody that wears the uniform and carries the badge. To honor those that have given it all. This memorial service is for the 11 Newport News officers that we have lost. While we have been extremely fortunate in our city, that has not been the case across the nation, across Virginia. We've only lost 11, and 11 is too many. And that number doesn't include all of those that have had to retire because of disability or that are still serving, carrying the scars of injuries that they've gotten while on the job. I thank the family members that are here with us today because we know how hard it is to lose a family member.
Clarence Eugene Small began his career with the Newport News Police Department on May 17, 1946. He and Officer Cook died in a car crash on June 24, 1961. Wallace Earl Nesbitt Sr. became a Newport News police officer on November 28, 1967. On January 8, 1970, he was shot while making an arrest. His son William became a Newport News police officer in 1994 and still serves today.
I've always said it takes a special person to do what we do. Some think that we're pretty hard men and women, but I call it caring with guts and courage to do what's right. Ladies and gentlemen of the community, you can put your money on it that if you need our help, we're going to be there. And as we've shown in great numbers over the years, that law enforcement officer will put their life on the line to save you any day. Thank you, everyone who is here supporting us on this Memorial Day. God bless the families of those who we've lost and those that are still serving. Thank you, men and women that serve every day. God bless you, God bless this great city, and God bless our great country.
Well, the temperatures are on the rise, and soon children everywhere will bid another school year a final goodbye. And with that, it begins. You know, the never-ending quest of finding creative and affordable ways to keep your kids on the go and completely entertained. Not always an easy task, but thanks to the Newport News Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, not out of the question, as they recently kicked off their 2012 event season with the return of a very popular festival, one that has created lasting memories and brought families together for the last 23 years.
It's the first Saturday in May, which means we must be at Newport News Park for the Newport News Children's Festival of Friends. It's our 23rd year. And amazingly, every year we keep coming up with new ideas for the festival. Yeah, there you go. We have great activities going on. We have Wacky Chad, which is a stunt comedian.
You guys better clap on this one.
We have a gymnastic bus where kids can go on and do gymnastics activities. I mean, every year we have great exhibitors from all the community groups that serve children in Newport News and throughout Hampton Roads.
We're helping out with all the kids. We're helping them build blocks here at this area. It's so incredible that Newport News can plan such a huge festival for everyone and have it all be free. It just shows a huge commitment to the city that the city planners have and all the volunteers that are out here. It's amazing.
We're fingerprinting kids today. It's an ID card that has their fingerprints. In the front, it's got a place for pictures, their height, their weight, their name. I think we've done about 200 today. Parents just don't know. They're busy, they work all week. Where are they going to get it done except at events like this?
What we want to do is give everybody a good understanding of what to do in case you have a fire in the home. What the parents can do and what you can do to help mom and dad too is make a plan to how to escape in case you have a fire in your house.
We've had this trailer since 2000, and so we've had a lot of kids go through, and it's just the best visual that we can have the kids actually practice to get as close to real life as it would be. Of course, a fire is much hotter, much scarier, but this is a nice introduction to them about what to start to do and also too for the parents to say, well, you know, we need to practice and have home drills at home, because everybody has school fire drills, but not everybody has home fire drills.
Everybody loves the snow cones. Come on up. Step right up. You want a blue raspberry snow cone? You got it. It's awesome. It's just absolutely awesome. Be out here and it's great weather, a great group of people to work with Newport News, and all these smiling children. It's just fantastic, and a great crew that I got right here behind me. Snow cones. Rainbow snow cones, blue raspberry and cherry.
They probably get more care than my wife does. Yes, they are like children to me. This is the 23rd year for me with the Children's Festival, and we've been coming to the Fall Festival for about 27 years. Our main purpose in coming out here is to educate the people about where their food's coming from and how important it is to buy local, buy fresh, buy local.
Kids, first of all, are our future, and this is a good building relationship for them to see the services that the city provides, gets the parents involved to be with them, and it's a fun day to interact with the families. So we're just extremely pleased that we're able to do this for the community.
I think that's wonderful. We always enjoy coming to any event, but free, that draws more attention and gets the crowd out there, and it's nice just to see everyone out enjoying themselves and having a good time.
You can't stop the river as it rushes to the sea.
It is the largest children's festival on the peninsula. We have a huge area, much bigger in size than other festivals for children in this area. Newport News is very proud of that. Since we've been doing it for 23 years. We think we've gotten good at it, and I think the crowds that come is a testament to how good we are at it.
They're in a world all their own, and they've been breaking the mold and standing tall for centuries. And although technique and attention to detail has changed drastically over the years, one very popular hobby made a return to one of its favorite locations, which offers up one very impressive backdrop. As the Virginia War Museum in beautiful Huntington Park recently hosted the 11th Annual Armed Forces Day Toy Soldier Show, and a chance for grown adults to let a little bit of the child inside of them come out and play for the day.
Well, it's a wonderful venue here near Norfolk. It's a wonderful museum, military museum. And people who collect toy soldiers are into military history. So soldiers represent those fellows who served in various wars. You can see their exact uniforms and accoutrements, weapons. So it's a study in military history.
A lot of the vendors really come to this show because they feel like they're supporting the museum and they like what we do, carrying on the tradition of our military and remembering them and honoring them in the way that we do here at the museum, not only with the artifacts and what we have and telling their stories through the exhibits in the galleries, but also by special events like this. And many of them have local buyers and clients that they work with that actually they send out a mailing before coming to the show. And many of them, you see the same faces coming in each year. And of course, there's new families coming in and young people each year as well, which we want to see get in, not only into the hobby, but again, to expose them to the museum, hopefully spark an interest that they'll want to learn more about. What are these figures representing? What is this time period about? You know, why is this here? And hopefully they'll go on and read some more on their own about that and really have a thirst for knowledge when they leave.
Well, first of all, this is a military area, and you have a lot of service people, and it's a good market. Typically, they know a lot about their branch and a lot about history. For me, the real draw has always been the historical part of this. I had these first, I'm 70 years old. I've had my first toy soldiers at the age of 8. Then at the age of 14, I sold them all to my mother, and then reinherited them back when I was 55. So 55 or so was rebitten by the bug. I love history, I love the figures, and I love the people in the business.
This is just one event that we do throughout the year at the War Museum and also in our Historic Services Division at Lee Hall Mansion and View Plantation as well. Folks can check us out on Facebook. They can also look at the websites, of course, see our calendar of events and find out what we have to offer, hopefully spark an interest in younger people that will be interested in the future in really preserving the artifacts and in history as well.
Well, that's about all the time we have for you this month. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Newport News in Review from the very impressive Newport News Police Department Headquarters building. And as always, on behalf of everyone here at Newport News TV, whether you're watching us on TV or online, at nngov.com, Facebook, or YouTube, thanks for watching. And we'll see you here real soon for the June edition of Newport News in Review right here on Newport News Television.